Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Some of the major polling, they say she's going to win. And they got the ground game. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, well, I don't think she really wanted to hear that right at this moment. I think she wanted to hear that she's behind, so that would encourage all these folks to come out, and because tomorrow is the biggest day and stuff and everything that she needs to deal with, and that's getting people to those polls for that last day of voting. And if they hear that, well, she's gonna win this stuff, then you're gonna find maybe a couple thousand folks gonna say, well, I don't need to go to the polls and vote. But they do. They need to get out there and vote. They need to get out there and do their civic duty, because you don't know what the heck going to happen.
Did you hear Michelle's speech Saturday?
Not all of it. I was.
Oh my goodness, man! She doubled down, bro. She went. Oh my goodness, that woman, man! I'll tell you, she teared me up, bro. She teared me up, man. I said, dang. She was for real, man. When she was speaking, man, she was speaking from the heart, telling these people, you cannot let this man win. But hey, all of them, everybody did everything they can do. It's on the white women now.
White
if we
women,
lose, it's the white women's fault. It ain't the black women, it ain't the black men. And I'm gonna give a little something to the Latinos too, them Hispanics. You get what you're gonna get, because you're gonna be treated like shit. I'm gonna say it.
Well, we need to get out there and vote, because we got a lot of shenanigans going on. It already started, man.
I know.
They taking down Kamala signs and stuff. We got her signs around here, and we finally got our signs back here in our neighborhood and everything. And shoot, man, they out there and taking her signs down, putting Trump signs all over the place and everything, and doing crazy stuff. I told my wife that that's a sign of a loser when they out there pulling people's signs down, because they know they're unlost. So they just say, shit, we could go out there and wreak havoc on them. But I don't know, man. It's what's going on in this country here, man. We got some problems and stuff that I don't know if a girlfriend can get, if them 4 years or whatever time she's gonna have, man, everything is enough to heal the wounds.
Well, she's not going to heal the wounds, but what she can do is, if they give her the Congress, and if she can pass half of the stuff that she said that she want to do, and get some stuff done, because she's going to have a fight with the Senate. But the thing is, man, some of those Senates, I'm going to tell you, Scott needs to be gone in Florida. The guy in Missouri needs to be gone. Holly needs to be gone. Who else? It's a couple of other people that I think that they can win. The Baltimore should win. I'm just saying that's three that should win. Now, it'll be hard to win. I mean, what's the guy in the? Is he in Utah? The farmer, the big heavyset guy.
John Tester.
Yeah, isn't he in
This is
Utah or is he
this
in?
is his. I think this is John's third term.
Yeah, he got a battle on him, bro.
Hmm.
He got a battle.
Well, I listened to Cory Booker this morning, and he said that he had just came from Montana, and he said the uh, the amount of people in Montana and everything wouldn't even compare to one of his counties and stuff there in New Jersey. So
Mm,
they got more people in one of his counties in New Jersey than they do in the whole state of Montana.
yeah,
So he was saying that it is a personal campaign and stuff there, and that this carpetbagger who came in with all these millions of dollars and everything flew in and decided that they wanted to run him for the senatorial campaign. But when you come into a state where, or even in a county and everything, where you got somebody who's been there for a while and been with the people and stuff there at that state, man, it's hard to unseat them. I don't care what's going on. Now it looks bad because he got a lot of money and he done put a lot of money into that daggone state, man, to win it. And money talked for a while, but Booker said that he thinks that he can pull this one out. I don't know what makes him think that, but he says he thinks he can pull this out. He thinks because of the fact that Testis has been around for a while and he's in a Republican state, but he's a Democrat and everything, and for the last two elections he's pulled them out. He won, and there hasn't been another Democrat who's come out of Montana other than him. So I guess he's using that thing that you my family, you my friends and stuff and everything, and you need to leave me here because I'm the one who's gonna protect you, not this carpetbagger who just came in. So a lot of the Indians and stuff on those reservations there in Montana, they are very excited about voting for him, putting him back in office. And so he may pull this one out. I don't know. He doesn't I don't think he in every election that he's been in, it's been down to the wire. He's won it only by 400-500 votes. Sometimes, man, he
dang.
about to have every chin, man. Because it's, he said that last time that was going to be his last election, but he's running again. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, they ain't got nobody to take his place. These people don't believe in mentoring nobody. They stay in
Well,
office for all those years and then they don't have nobody to replace them.
well, I find it ironic that we haven't heard a lot from old Mitch about the elections and what's going on and what he's got planned and stuff because I guess he's gonna relinquish his leadership role and everything, so he's probably just backing away and not taking the lead in anything and stuff out there because he's not going to help him because he's not going to be the leader anymore. So it's up to the other folks, Cronin and Scott from down there in Florida and stuff. But shoot, he's supposed to be having a tough time, but I don't know. He got this. Florida, he got enough money to beat that girl out. And what's her name? Parcell something. Most people haven't even heard of her.
I
And
never heard of it either. I'm right here in Florida.
right, and she right there in Florida. So the Powell Purcell or something like that. That's what that's what they call. I don't know. But for a little bit there, she was neck and neck there with him and everything. So I don't know what's going on now on how the polling numbers and stuff down there look and everything. Because I think the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee and everything was kind of boosted up a little bit and everything. But lately, in the last month and stuff, they just, hey, girlfriend, you on your own. we got to get John. We got to pull John out the fire, and we got to pull Brown and Ohio out of the fire. Okay?
Yeah, he's having a tough race too.
Yeah, I think Brown's gonna pull it out. He's one of them down to earth folks and stuff and everything, and he's kind of distanced himself from a lot of the Democrats and stuff and everything who he considers that the folks there in Ohio and stuff don't like. So he kind of running his own thing and doing his own thing and not asking them to come over there and do any politicking and stuff for him and everything and let him run his own stuff. So he knows what he's been doing. He's been there for a while. Him and old John Tester, they just keep those Republicans at bay. Hopefully they will. Because if they don't and stuff, like we just said, she's not. Kamala's going to have a hell of a time, man, trying to enact anything and stuff in her first real term as a president. So we shall see. There's hopeful signs and stuff out there for both of them and everything. So we're going to find out here in just a little bit. Hell, 26 more hours. 26 more hours, man. It'd be 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock tomorrow. Everything closes down. Then they start counting. Bob Casey
Well, we
and
will see if the white women show up, man.
yeah, they got Bob Casey over there in Pennsylvania. They need him in there. He's having a rough time too and everything, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna pull that one out of the hat. I don't think they really the Democrats really worried about him. I think the only one they're really worried about is Tesla in Montana and Brown in Ohio. The rest of them, they figure, are gonna pull that thing out. Somebody who was running against girlfriend there in Wisconsin thought that he was going to be giving her a hard time, but I don't believe that they're going to, Wisconsin going to put girlfriend back in
What,
there.
that black guy? It's a black
No,
guy that she's running against.
I don't know. I don't even know who he is. All I know is they had somebody down there saying that she was running against someone there, and they was uh, Tammy Duckworth. Is that Duckworth
Yeah.
in Wisconsin?
No,
Yeah,
no, she's in Illinois.
yeah. And and everybody was worried about Alsbrook or whatever her name is there in Maryland. Was she going to be able to beat the old Republican governor and stuff because he's running against her and Larry Hagan because he's very popular there in the state of Maryland. But according to old Wesley Moore and stuff and everything, she's probably going to pull this one out of the hat and everything. So. We don't know, man. If those three people can pull it out of the hat, then I think they're gonna be okay. They're talking about Jackie Roslin and Nevada and stuff and everything. And she's in a difficult spot there, but I don't think nobody's been over there to say anything about it and stuff and everything. So we'll see. And they figure Garago or wherever his name is, he's gonna take Arizona.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a fight, and then everybody's optimistic and stuff, man. About old Ted Cruz is he's in a battle for his life. So that old boy is giving him a run for his money.
That old boy from Missouri giving Josh Hawley a run for his money too.
Well, I don't believe Missouri them Republicans up there, them rednecks up in them mountains in Missouri, they gonna put that boy back in office. They ain't gonna put no Democrat to represent them in Minnesota. Already,
Missouri.
yeah, already, and Texas probably got the best chance and stuff because Texas is a state, man, that's been teetering and stuff on that edge and stuff and everything, but they just can't get them daggone Hispanics and stuff to stand up and everything to those Republicans. But I think with this real strict abortion thing that they done enacted there in Texas and stuff, man, I think a lot of those women and stuff and everything going to probably give all red and stuff. If if he loses, it's probably gonna be real close. Because I know Ted Cruz is sitting there. He's fighting for his life. He's begging those Republicans for a little more money and a little more help and stuff to get him over that hump. I saw my girl Jasmine JC. She was on a show and I think in Dallas, I think it was. They got some podcast show with this girl. Her name is Dee Podcast or something like that. This young black lady and stuff and everything got a show there, and she had Jasmine on. It must be a very popular show and everything because from the looks up and everything, it was all right. But she said something today, man, that kind of struck me and everything. I said, man, I was thinking about this old boy and stuff and everything in a real negative manner. And she said when she first got into office and stuff, and she ran for the House seat, that she was looking for, she was stumbling around trying to find people that she can caucus with and talk with and everything. And she said she was very surprised that John Cronin called her up and wanted to talk with her. And she said she was leery about speaking to him and everything and seeing what was going on. But she said that he was seemed like a pretty fair guy, even though he's a Republican and everything. He said, I am Republican. He said, but I'm also a senator for Texas. And he said, if you got anything that you want to do here in this Congress and stuff that has to do with Texas and stuff and everything, he said, I'm here to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was shocked when she said that. But they did a question and answer with the first word to come out of your mouth. And she said, and the lady said, Ted Cruz. And she gave him a real nasty word. I forgot what she called him, but she said he ain't crap. He ain't SHIT. And the lady said Trump. She said dangerous. He's dangerous. But man, she's making a circuit, man. Oh, Jasmine, man, is making a circuit, buddy. She is out there, and people. She says that. Uh, she says she's been invited to so many different news things and stuff and everything that she doesn't even remember how many she's been on. And she's been on a few major things. She's been up there with Jimmy Kimmel, and she was with Stephen Colbert's show and everything. They had her on there, and man, she said that she's been pulled hither than yon, and said she's been traveling a whole lot, and she has not been back to her state and everything, and or slept in her bed in a long time because she's people want to hear her, and she has a huge following and stuff now, huge following. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen with it and everything. I don't know. I think Kamala's probably, if she wins this thing and everything, she might want to pull her into her administration. But I think that she probably gonna stay there in her congressional district and everything because they need somebody there in Congress and stuff and everything to help bruh man, because this will be his first try at the Speaker of the House. Very ironic, man, that you got two people. One is sitting in the seat, and the other one is like a heartbeat away from being the president too. You got her, you got my boy, the vice president, and then the next one in line is the Speaker of the House.
Yeah. But Akeem, you know that guy's smart, man. He's extremely intelligent, very smart. I've never seen him make one slip, not one. He knows what to say, and he's been under her, tutelage for years.
Mm-hmm. He's
So
waited his turn. He's waited his turn with her,
yeah,
with Nancy, and Nancy even spoke about the fact that she groomed him for that job.
yeah, and that's what
Yeah,
you're supposed to do, and that's what these other Congress people, in my mind, don't do. Some of them do, not all, but I'm just saying, should be more of it. But the one thing I want to go back to, the thing that I don't understand, and I said this before a couple of days ago, and you mentioned what you said, and I agree to a certain degree, but I still say that if they try to get those other states and get them more engaged, because they do get Democratic votes, not that many. They might get 30, 40, 50%, 40%. So they do have Democrats in those states.
yeah,
And there is a lot of good people in those states. All of them is not, racist or prejudiced or bigots or whatever. They just people, good people. And to me, you have to win people over. And I don't know how you would do it. I have no idea because I'm not a political person. But some kind of way you have to win these people over to get more states. Even though they're a small portion, you got cities larger than some of them states. So, but I think that they need to reach out more. And I guess that takes a lot more money. And you need to be having these people that are political and want to be into, let them go get their bones working out there trying to get these more Democrats in some of these states. I mean, you got a lot of people that's involved, engaged in politics, and they want to work in the political arena. Let them go to Utah. Let them go to North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming. You know, all of those different places. That's up out there, and work those offices and send out letters and try to influence these people because all they're doing is voting against their own interests. And bring some type of industries out there.
um, yep. You're probably right that there should be, but most of the time, Ted, he and it goes with the Republican Party too. They don't want to spend the money to go into those states and everything, and find out that they threw that money away and everything when they could have used that in another campaign to help some other folks out who may have lost. I'm trying to think of who it was, but there was a candidate and everything who tried that, and they uh they lost big time and stuff because of that. They lost a lot of house seats and everything because they dumped that money over there in that state and everything, and a couple of states there, and they thought they might be able to go in there and to to their red states and everything, and get into the Republican stronghold and pull some rabbits out the hat, and they wound up losing some seats and stuff that were on the line, but they took that money that they could have used for them and they put it over in those red states. So now everybody who was dealing with that stuff, I don't remember who in the heck it was, but it really shook them up and everything. So that's why most of them aren't reaching out into these other states and everything, because they don't want to spend no resources and stuff there in those states and wind up losing that money and everything, and then losing some other winnable seats in those winnable states. But I think what they could do is do what Stacey Abrams did here in Georgia. Man, there wasn't until Stacey came on board and everything. Most of the Democrats wrote Georgia off. We ain't gonna spend a whole lot of money in Georgia, but she convinced them inside this state to convince them, say, hey, you guys are hey, there's votes here. You guys got a chance to get up in here to do something. And she convinced a lot of people and stuff to do it. She convinced Hillary to do it, to start investing and stuff in Georgia, coming down here. She convinced Biden, hey, come on down here, man. You can win this state. And he barely won it, but because of her, they invested in Georgia. And that's what you need, I think, in those other states. If you got those Democrats and stuff who you say are out there and they're in these states and stuff, if they become a strong, viable entity and stuff within that state, they need to build up their coalition inside their state. And I guarantee you, man, that if they inwardly built that stuff up, then they can probably convince some people to come out there and invest and stuff in there. If nothing else, invest in a house seat. If you got enough folks around there. Oh man. Oh man, you ain't gonna believe what
Well,
happened. Something popped across my screen.
well,
Something popped across my screen here. Man, I was shockingly surprised here. Oh
you gonna
wow.
share it with us?
Brother Reverend Raymond Timms just sent me a text message. He was thanking me and stuff for asking me was everything okay, my wife and the family okay and everything, and sending up prayers and blessings to her. And as you know, he lost three of his siblings and stuff this year.
I know.
He lost three of his siblings plus a sister-in-law.
Mm.
Yeah, he lost Paul and his wife, his brother. So I don't know how he's making it and stuff and everything. He doesn't look very healthy himself and everything. But hey, one of these days and stuff, folks and stuff, we're gonna have Pastor Tim's on and sit down and talk with him and everything, and you guys can meet him and stuff. He's a great guy. Yep, he's one of our spiritual leaders.
Yep. We
But he
need
just
it.
he just set them across there and everything. I was surprised he had said it because I knew that he's been, man, this has been devastating to him, man, having these folks and stuff pass away and everything. And he'll be okay. I'm gonna text him back and stuff after I get off the air. So anyway, Ted, hey man, that's what I would do if I was somebody and stuff. I would, if I found that maybe they have a congressional seat that they might be able to turn to a Democrat, then hey, maybe the House campaign committee and stuff will invest some time and money into winning that daggone seat there in those red districts, because it's well worth trying, man. Because it looks bad, Ted, when they put up the electoral map and the whole middle of the United States is red. Ain't a blue spot nowhere in there.
There's one blue spot.
Right there in
One blue
Nebraska.
spot where they can
Yeah,
get a.
right there in Nebraska. But you can't even see it, man. You got to have a magnifying glass to see it. It does look kind of bad, man, to see that. All the blue stuff is on the outside and down underneath.
It's not right. It's not right. I mean, I know it's not, number one, it's not right that they should have two Congress people and they ain't got but 600,000 people in their state. And they got two senators. That's not right neither. But I'm just saying, at least they need to do something. They start collecting money and start working on those states and just use that money just for that state, those different states. I mean, I don't know how much money you would need, but it seemed like if you gave few $1,000,000 on each one of them states and pay somebody some decent money and maybe have a crew of 5 people or 10 people and work on those states, build up that coalition. That's all I'm saying. Hey, did you know the judge, they sued Philadelphia, sued Musk, and one of the judges allowed it to get that $1,000,000 a day. He done gave already $17 million away.
Oh wow!
So
Yeah, they
tomorrow's
did
the
have
last
that. They
day.
did have their hearing today. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
right before the election. They said they were going to have a hearing. I forgot
yeah.
about that. So the judge allowed it to happen, huh? Allowed
Oh
them
yeah.
to prosecute him.
No, it just says it's okay.
You said it was okay for him to give the money out.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Judge said it was okay. That so tomorrow's his last day that he can do it.
Mm.
Of course, some of the people, the lawyers are saying there was a scam, 50 years by deceiving more than 1 million swing state voters to sign a petition in the hopes of winning $1,000,000. 1 million people signed up and hope to win $1,000,000. How they vote, that's up to them. But I'm just saying, you can win $1,000,000.
Mm. Doesn't make the attorney general for the state of Pennsylvania very popular and stuff, bringing a case and stuff and everything, and he done lost it.
Yep.
'Cause they were very interested in stuff and winning in that daggone case. Matter of fact, he was adamant and stuff about that it would happen the day before the election and everything, that they would be able to shut him down and create some problems. But then they had some other folks and stuff who were telling them that this man got some deep pockets and he got some folks and stuff out there that can fight this case and stuff just as long as the state of Pennsylvania and stuff can fight it. So they were wondering and stuff, did they put that case together strong enough and everything to where it would convince the judge and everything that they were that they couldn't, that the judge wouldn't throw out the case against him. Well, it's a good thing that it happened the day before the election, so you can't have too many more drawings and stuff and everything for the $1,000,000. And hopefully, maybe they'll scare that little rascal off, and he might not pull that stuff off again and everything. That somebody might that he might do it in another state and everything, and that judge and stuff rules against him. So I don't know. I really thought that it was a bad thing and stuff that he had done, and you never can tell, man. Money can do some strange things to you. People can be bought, man. I'm telling you, they got.
Well, we already know that, man. I mean, you got so many TikTok people, they're getting paid. It was a guy that's on YouTube, very, I guess he must have had a lot of followers. Him and his partner, the Russians gave them $100,000 per video. So and I don't know how many videos they did, but they did quite a few videos, and I guess somebody found out about it and then they reported it to DOJ. Now the thing is, I don't even know what happened to the guy. I understand that he shut down his program and everything, his YouTube, you know, but he was putting out negative stuff, what the Russians told him to put out so that Trump can win.
Hmm.
But they got in trouble with the DOJ.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's, like you said, you just said it. Money. Money, bro.
What did you find out about Russia? Did you ever do that research?
Russia?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean about Russia?
And Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia going broke.
No, I didn't get a chance to, it slipped my mind, but I thought we had did a show on that because I did it on the committee when they had that meeting in Russia, when all
Mm-hmm.
of those nations showed up. The top nations was India, Russia, China,
And Brazil.
and Iran,
Well,
and
well,
Saudi
let's
Arabia.
let's go back and clarify this thing. I hope you're talking about BRIC, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I did some research and stuff on BRIC. I thought you may have did it on Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia still has not joined BRIC. They got the United Arab Emirates has joined them, but Saudi Arabia still has not joined them. Uh, it was interesting and stuff that BRIC was started a long time ago, man, back in 2009, and the initial countries and stuff who were involved with it was Brazil and Russia, India, and China.
yeah, Brazil was there too.
They were the only ones who were involved in that thing. And then, and I think in 2010, they invited South Africa to come in. And they finally got Africa to come in, and then they got some other states, and they didn't get Iran to come in until last year when they came in. Uh, they got man, who else did they have? There was several other countries and stuff now who is in that BRIC coalition and stuff now, and man, the amount they said that 45% of the world population and stuff is involved in that thing with BRIC. they got a lot, and they started this bank to compete with the IMF. What I think it was back in 2012 or 13 or something. They created a bank and stuff, and each one of the countries invested. I think China put in something like $40 billion, and the rest of them, those nations and stuff, 5 or 6 nations, put in like $18 billion a piece. But they could not compete and stuff with the IMF, International Monetary Fund. So they and then China told them that they wanted to store the funds and stuff there in China instead of putting it into Russia's account. So I don't know. It seemed like they're having a few administrative problems and stuff there. So they have their influence and stuff and their power and stuff and everything still hasn't rivaled NATO yet. So we shall see. They're still going on. But I didn't get a chance to look at Saudi Arabia and stuff and find out exactly why. But I do know that this
Well, they're
guy,
just playing games. They just want to be in the mix.
yeah, I do know that this guy named, oh man, I forget his first name, but his last name is Johnson. He's a professor and stuff in a university there in Michigan. And he's been around for a long, long, long time, and he's supposed to be some sort of a guru or expert and stuff on Trump and everything because he did a lot of work and stuff on him and a lot of documentary stuff on him and how he came about and what's going on. So whenever they start talking about Trump, they always bring him on. Anyway, he wrote a report in the in the publication called the DC Report, and it came out in August 12th of 2022, and he spoke about Putin and a lot of things and stuff that were going on and stuff with them, and how they were exercising some illicit stuff out there, and the fact that Trump was still communicating and stuff with him, and the CIA and the National Security Administration and everything, they knew what was going on because they had tapped Putin's phone. So all that stuff Donald was telling them, they already knew about it, but they haven't said anything about it because they don't want Russia to know how much they know. And these BRIC folks and stuff and everything, countries and stuff, back in I think in 2020 or 2021, decided that they wanted to build a underground internet cable that ties in all those countries and stuff and everything, and they were going to put it under the water and ship it to and put it into China and South Africa and all that, so they can communicate privately with all those nations and stuff that are involved with them, but they still haven't gotten the money together and everything to do it. And the reason why they said that they couldn't use the internet because the United States, they said, they be spying on all those people who using those internet cables and stuff coming across the Atlantic, and so they didn't want the United States to know what the hell that they were doing.
Well, you know why Putin is trying to get this thing together, right?
Well, he's been trying it for a long time. Go ahead.
Right. You know why he's trying to do it though? Because
He
number
wants to.
one, you got sanctions on him, you got sanctions on Iran, you got a little bit of sanctions, a little blowback sometimes on Saudi Arabia. China, of course, you got some kind of regulations on them. So he put all of these countries, and then you put these other little countries, these third world countries, they looking for help. So if they put that together, and now you got the what is it, the coalition of the United States with all these other countries, NATO.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got two facets of things that's going on. However, who's the most powerful? Does it make a difference? It don't make no difference, really.
Yeah, it does.
Because
It makes a lot of difference. Go ahead.
well, it don't really make no difference in my opinion, because the
I
reason
think
why I
it
say
makes
that
I
is
think it
because they
makes.
all got nuclear. China got nuclear. Russia got nuclear. Iran soon will have nuclear. Pakistan got nuclear. India got nuclear. You got who else? You got well, Brazil don't have nuclear.
I
So
wasn't speaking of. I didn't. The reason why I said it makes it does make a difference, not because of their military might. I was talking. I was thinking about their financial might, money. That's what I was thinking about. The power of money. Who controls the money? Because they back a couple of years ago and stuff and everything, they tried very very hard to bring down the valuation of the U.S. dollar, and they wanted to use Chinese currency and stuff and everything to be the international currency that's being traded. But they couldn't beat down that U.S. dollar and everything, so they ran up against a brick wall there because most people trust the U.S. dollar. And the U.S. dollar is worth a lot and everything out there. So, but if they had been strong enough and everything to manipulate that international currency and take the legs off from under the U.S. dollar and stuff and everything, that could have been devastating and stuff for them.
well, you know
And
why, don't you? Because we have built all of these stock systems around the world. The European and American people have helped, because they didn't, a lot of those countries didn't have any kind of way of doing their markets in the stock market until the 90s. They just not started trading, and then now what they can do is they can trade a lot and buy a lot of American companies, and they can put millions in those companies, and they're making a lot of money off of this stuff. And a lot of them are very smart and know how to play the markets. India is one of the have a lot of billionaires and a lot of smart people and know how to play the markets. They all up in Wall Street and everything. Those Indian guys. So they are very smart and they know the numbers because a lot of them are engineers trained. So the battle is, to me, the American people is not educating their people correctly because of racism. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm not doubting it and everything because there's a lot of entities and stuff that control what goes on here. And any one of those entities and stuff and everything can turn a battle around in any. Oh wow, okay. I get a pop up of the notifications and stuff up on my screen here to let me know something going on here. They had a thing up there about Elon Musk, and I guess I don't know, that boy's crazy. Anyway, when you out there dealing in the world and stuff and everything, what you do, what you say, or what the president of the United States and stuff says and stuff can have a rippling effect, man, in different markets and stuff, man, all around the world. It can bring the pound and everything down. It can bring the Chinese yen and everything. It can bring it down depending on what they say and everything in the world. And what Russia does over there in Russia and everything can have implications and stuff around the world and stuff also, but not as big of a noise and stuff as the U.S. president and stuff has. So,
But here's the thing, though, is that BRICS, what you call it, they want to back it with gold. China and Russia, they have, as far as what they say, now I don't know how true it is, but they have resources to get gold from their country. They claim they got billions and billions of tons of gold. We off the gold market. We off it, and we're playing the game and all that. So the thing is, and then what they want to do is they have these little cards that they want to give out to all the population how to deal with money. And so they have these cards to spend money. And I think they said they was going to put something like $500 in each one of the cards to get started.
mm-hmm.
So that sort of kind of get them going. And then, of course, whenever they make a paycheck, it's automatically deposited into their account.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're using those cards now. They'll be using those cards, and they won't be using American dollars or not even using their own dollars. Because, most countries have their own dollars that they use.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it might not be now. It might be 5 years from now. It might be 2 years from now. But that's what they're going to do. That's the goal because Putin is not going to be outdone, bro.
I think his downfall is going to come from within.
You're right. Because
It's
they
going
hate
to
him.
come from. It's going to come from within his country, and depending on stuff on what happens tomorrow, he's betting and he's gambling and stuff and everything that his boy is going to become the president and stuff, and he's making. And if he does not, Putin's not done yet, but he is going to, and that's what I think probably right now everybody should be focusing on is the day after November the 5th. The day after November the 5th, November the 6th, we should be focusing on that. What's going to happen that day after? It is, no matter who wins the election tomorrow here in this country, we're this country's going to be, man, in a dilemma. I mean, a big dilemma and stuff here. We we are betting on this on Harris and stuff to win, and I'm pretty sure a lot of these billionaires and whatever and stuff and everything don't trust her to take this country and stuff and everything and be strong enough and everything to keep the United States to be viable and stuff out there in this world economy. They don't trust her because she's a woman and stuff to
It
do
ain't
this.
just her, bro.
Huh?
Well, you talk like she by herself. Everything that the United States do, they have NATO to back them up, and they come together as a unit. And so they decided when they decided they was going to come against Russia and sanction him, Ed, they did it as united as NATO. To kick him out of NATO, they decided to kick him out of NATO. To sanction him, they decided to sanction him. So she's not going to be making decisions by herself. It's a cumulative thing. They collaborating all together. You know, you got Canada, you got Europe, you got all these other countries that are members. And I don't think China is all that fascinated about Russia anyway.
Well, the big boy China and stuff and everything, they remind me of Trump. They out for themselves, and they looking for they're looking at their own pocketbook. They look at everything because I saw that when I was just today when I was reading about BRIC and everything, how they got started, and then how China put all that money into that bank that they wanted to get started, and then China said, "Put the money over here in our country." They wanted to be in charge, and they put in the most money, so they figured, we put in the most money, we're gonna take over. The money gonna be here in our country. So
They
I
got the
don't know.
biggest banks in the world, bro.
I know they do, but I don't think Russia wanted that money to be over there in China's hands where they can't they they're losing control of that money and stuff when it's over there in China. So who they gonna trust? I guess it's almost like a gang of crooks, and you got you got you got this gang and that gang and that gang and that gang, and neither one of them they want to come together, but they can't trust each other. So,
Well, they already know that Putin ain't nothing but a gangster.
huh?
They know Putin ain't nothing but a gangster.
Oh yeah, he's been a gangster for a while, but China wants they quietly want to be a gangster too. They want to be in control, and they are like little sneaky little rascals and stuff and running around and taking stuff and everything, and they go over there and dabble over there in Africa, and they put a little money over there in them foreign African countries and stuff and everything, so they can be able to gain control and everything. But they aren't they aren't strong enough to really actually do anything because I believe that in their heart they are chicken. They are like scared bullies. They're not strong bullies, they're scared bullies. They want to bully you, but as soon as you turn around and look at them and everything, they're gonna run back in the corner because they and that's how they are. That's how they deal out there in the international market and stuff. And most folks and stuff know that if you stand up to them and everything, they're going to back up and go back into their corner, and they're going to leave you alone for a while, or they're going to try to stab you in the back some other kind of way. But you just got to watch them.
Well, I'll give you my take, because China and India is having a little feud, because they're trying to, a lot of the foreign countries that's over in China is moving over into India looking for cheaper labor. And China don't like that, because China want to use his people, what they call them, X or whatever they call them. He he's been using America for the last 20 years as far as cheap labor, and they became rich because we are consumers. We don't make anything. So, that's the deal. But did you know that there's over almost 5 trillion, 4.5 trillion Asians? Billion in the world, 4.5 billion Asians in the world, more than any nationality or ethnic group. Now, of course, they got all the different ethnics, the Vietnamese, you got different facets that's in China, you got the people in India, they classify themselves. They say they're not Asian, but that's what they classify it as, is Asiatic. And the Indian people do not like China. And they having a border crisis right now. China and India is having a border crisis.
Well,
because they try to take over some parts of India. They try to bring their business over in India. They're not really build automobile companies, manufacturing companies in Russia.
Well, I think each one of those countries and stuff has problems and everything, and you have to find out. And I guess that's why we have our Central Intelligence Agency, because they are there to find out where those weak links and stuff at in each one of those countries, how you can benefit and stuff from their weakness. And if we have to realize that intelligence, knowledge is valuable.
I'm gonna tell you how we blew it. This is just my opinion now. I'll tell you exactly how we blew it. By letting that orange man be in charge.
Letting who
Because
be in charge?
that orange man, for 4 years, he caused havoc with Canada, France, Europe, Iran, Yemen, and I can go on, China, but he didn't cause havoc with Russia and North Korea. He even dogged South Korea. So he has caused havoc. And so therefore, those third world nations, they were getting help from the World Bank and all those kinds of people trying to lift them people up. Because America, we send billions of dollars to the World Bank. So the point, what I'm saying is that because of him, you could do some kind of diplomatic, negotiations, and everything was pretty much not never, 100% civil, but you can at least work out things. Now, he's the tough guy, and he's gonna go in and he gonna whatever. So I think because they let him in there, so now look what we got now. You got Brexit.
Well,
They let that orange man in there,
that
bro, and
that's
that was
a
it.
that is
Chaos.
that's a hell of an argument there, Ted, that we're gonna have going on about that about those 4 years from 2016 to 2020. That's a that's an argument, man, that we can have that'll last for days. I think because in a way you could be right, but
Look at it.
the
I mean,
man,
if you think about it,
the man, I don't want to say it, and I just it's bouncing around in my head, and I said, "Well, Ed, you have to find a a sane way to say this," but I can't think of a word or anything that other than he's stupid, and that has been his downfall. He's stupid and everything, and he stumble bubbles and stuff around, and people just decide that they want to use him and stuff and everything, or he'll stumble into a situation and he get used over there. And that's what happened with him while he was there. He just stumbled around. He didn't care what the heck happened. But he knew one thing that he had to do, and that was to keep his friends rich.
taxes.
That's what he had to do. He had to keep his
Cut them
friends
taxes.
rich. He had to get that done. He had to keep his friends rich because as long as his friends were rich, then they all owe each other. And that's how he'd been able to manage himself. Is when his dad came along, he knew how to how people owe him something, and they all did that. And he just he's like a little spoiled brat, a little fat spoiled brat.
Well, I'm gonna ask you a question. Have you ever heard of? I know you know him, and I can't even pronounce his name, but he's an Italian guy who, for 2 weeks, worked for Donald Trump, and Donald Trump fired him. I forget what position that Donald Trump. His name is new. I can't even pronounce his name, man. It's new. It's an Italian name, but he explains it very well. Very well.
You talking about Scaramucci?
Scaramucci.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm telling you, bro, he breaks it down. I'm trying to think whose show he was
You know
on.
he lost his wife because of that.
He might have lost his wife, but I'm gonna
He
tell you
said
right now, this dude. And
his wife, when she found out that he was going to go work for him, she divorced him. And he talks about that to today, that he lost his wife messing with that rascal.
well, right now he's campaigning for Kamala right
I
now.
know it. He's a man. He's trying to stab him in the back, anything he can do and stuff, because he's still upset about what he did to him while when he worked for him. He was his communication man, wasn't he? He was his.
I think
Yeah, he was
that
his
was the
communication guy.
position. That
Yeah,
was the position he gave him, but he only
right.
lasted 2 weeks.
Yeah, he was his communication person. Yeah, he
But
was in
man,
charge
I
of
tell
his
you, bro,
communication. Yeah,
he breaks it down, because his family is from a working class family, and he end up going to a great school, got his education, and started some businesses, and got a lot of money now. And he is, man, he talking just what you just said, dealing with a bully.
yeah, dealing with a bullet. Hey, man, final word.
Well, my thing is, what can I say, man? I'm hoping that she win, but at the same time, my thing is, I think they need to reach out to all these other states. That's what they need to do. They need to reach out to all these states. It might take 10 years, 20 years to get some of these states blue. But you ain't talking about a lot of money, man, and then let them know that hey, we aren't your enemy. We are not your enemy. We're about America. At least that's what it seems like to me. The Democrats are more about freedom and liberty than anybody else. You might not like some of the things, you might call yourself religious, or you're against abortion, you're against gay people, you're against, climate change and all that stuff, but we're not your enemy. You're against science. That's my thing. Reach out to some of these people.
Yeah. Well, my thing is the
Because we
day
ain't got no
after.
Republican Party no more.
Yeah, I'm looking at the day after. I'm looking at the day after how we deal with this stuff the day after this is all over. Because when you put all your effort and you concentrate your effort into one particular day, a lot of times you don't look past that day. And I'm pretty sure the reason why the Harris campaign hasn't looked past that day because their focus and stuff is the win. But the Republicans and stuff, they've been looking past that day for a long time. As you can see with that Project 2025, they've already planned for what they're going to do past November the 5th.
And they ain't gonna stop.
If Trump wins, they've already planned for that. But what is Harris going to do past November the 5th? Because she has concentrated most of her efforts, all of her campaign, everything. And when you put your maximum effort in one incident and one event, it takes a lot out of you and stuff and everything to get yourself righted back up and be able to deal with it because she doesn't have time. If she wins it tomorrow, she doesn't have time to be thinking or trying to figure out stuff and everything because if she does and everything, old redhead, he getting ready to smack her down again because he's not done. And
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
yeah,
on like
it's
macaroni,
gonna
as
be
they used to
on
say.
like popcorn. Yeah, it's gonna be on like popcorn. Because, like I said, they didn't invest all that money for Project 2025 to let it go past and say it's all over with November the 5th. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they looking 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th of November. They're looking past all them days and stuff and everything, what they're going to do because he's not going to let it go. And there's some people out there and stuff and everything, Ted, I believe, who are not going to let it go either. And they are going, oh man.
If she got to win, she got to take Nevada, she got to take Arizona, she got to take
He
California.
doesn't need,
Now I ain't saying what she need. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is that she has to win big. If she wins big, she got a little plea, she got a little break. But if she just
well,
barely gets in,
when you say win big, what do you mean? Because they already know she's going to win on the popular vote. The popular vote is already said and done. She's going to win that because there's more Democrats
I'm talking
out
about
there.
big as far as I guess it don't matter because Biden ran, he had over 300 electoral votes.
Right. That's the thing that's going to take you through. And there has not been a Republican to win the popular vote since way past 2000. When Bush came in, he did not win the popular vote. He won the electoral college. When
Ronald Reagan was
Trump
the
came
last
in,
one.
he did not win the popular vote in 2016, but he won the electoral college. In 2020 and stuff, he lost the popular vote and the electoral college. So when you say win big, well, what do you mean? Win big in the popular vote or win all those battleground states?
Win all of those battleground states and the popular vote.
Okay, that's what you mean by win big. Okay, I got you. Hey, people, we'll see you guys tomorrow. It's gonna be a big day. It's gonna be a big day. We got something special for you guys and stuff tomorrow. Something real special for you. So I'm gonna see can I put it together. If I can't, then hey, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be up late tonight putting this stuff together here. We're gonna see what the heck happened. Because my son told me that we need to rebrand ourselves. he said, Dad, you need to rebrand yourself. He said your name and stuff is too close to the TED Talk. People looking at TED Talk. So you got to rebrand yourself. So we'll see. We'll see after the election's over. We'll see. We want to do some rebranding and stuff for us. Anyway, talk to you people later. Bye bye.